going to walk you through how I am organizing my week with a weekly calendar. There's a lot of really cool things and extensions and power-ups and, Chrome things you can do with Trello, but I find this to be a really simple way without adding a bunch of things to get all of the stuff you want on one calendar so that it's in one place and you can sync it and organize your week. So I'm just going to show you how I do it from start to finish. So I'm going to create a new board and I'm going to call it my weekly schedule. All right, let's create this board here. Okay, again, if you want to copy this, just go to More and Copy Board, call it My Weekly Schedule. You can put it wherever you want, but if you don't copy it and make sure Keep Cards is checked, you won't be able to do anything with it. So make sure you do that. Okay, so here's what I would recommend doing. Take it or leave it. This is what I find to be a super easy way to pretty much transfer all this stuff and your brain dumps and your to-do lists and things into one master place. So I start my week on a Monday. So I'm going to just type in and I'm going to create lists for every single day of the week. So Friday, Saturday, and I like to just end on a Sunday, okay? I also think it's important you can make a list for like a thought catcher or like a catch-all or still to be completed, and you can always make a done if you want as well. Now, here's what's really cool. You can create labels that kind of section or time block your stuff off. So my problem was that I was putting things in my notepad, I was putting things in my planner, I was putting things on random Post-its. I just was like not streamlined. Started using Trello, and I still do have to remind myself, like, nope, put this right in Trello so I don't forget. But I think it is so helpful to just be able to even have these checklists in one spot. So I'm going to add a card, and you can section it off. So I time block my day as like AM, afternoon, and PM. So I can put like AM, afternoon, and PM here. I'm going to just type and I hit add card. I'm going to go into each one and I'm going to just make a little bit of a label so I can see it's like a different section. So we're just going to label all of the different times. We'll just label them green so we can use them basically as dividers. And I'll show you more of that. So I'm hitting label. I'm just hitting what color I want. The label doesn't have anything written on it right now because it's literally just to be used as a divider and a separator. Okay. Now what I could do is if I was doing my weekly planning, I could add in things that I need. So say I have a play date on Monday at 11 o'clock with a friend. That would go here. I can add a card and I could put 11 o'clock, play dates, add card. And then what I could do is drag it here. So see how the AM is separated by the PM. Very cool, right? Say we have to call the doctor. Call doctor. And I'll throw that in the afternoon, my kids nap. I can never talk on the phone when they're awake. And it's separated, okay? If I wanted to even put in details, so say for the play date, we're meeting at the park. Oops, I'll put it in as a comment maybe. Park, here's the 123 street. So that I know where we're meeting, friend's number, in case you wanted that. I don't know. Don't forget to bring size 6-month clothes because I'm passing them to my friend or something like that, right? So I could put the comment in there so I remember it. And that's the first thing I would do, right? I would add those for each of the days. Now, here's where it's really cool. So you just make a really basic one. I would copy this onto each of my lists. So I just click the 3 dots, I hit copy, and I'm just going to also copy one onto Tuesday. I'm going to copy it onto Wednesday so that every day has these like chunks. Oops, we'll just drag that one over. Has them chunked out, okay? Now, here's where you can use all of your other boards. So I'm going to kind of let you see behind the scenes at my quarterly planning. Don't freak. It's kind of intense, but I'm going to show you how I can now put everything in one place. So I'm going to go back to my homepage, and I'm going to show you, let's see, where can we take? So I could take stuff from my cleaning routine, for example. So say I want to take from my cleaning routine, and say on Mondays I always do my bedroom. I could just click right there, the little, if you guys didn't see, sorry, it's a little pencil point. I can copy it. I don't want to move it, right? I want to keep it all here, but I'm going to copy it to the board. Oh my, lots happening here. To the board, where is that one under? My weekly schedule. And I do that on Monday, so I'll put it in on Monday. Okay, now let's go back. I'll show you an easier way to go back in a second. Now I'm back in this board. Look what happened. My bedroom cleaning checklist that I normally use, we'll check it off, we'll say it's done, is here, but it's at the bottom. So all you have to do is pull it up to where you want it to go. So say I do my cleaning when the kids take their nap, I'll put it in the afternoon, okay? And maybe I'll want to change the date because I'm going to do it on Monday. I'll say that I'm doing it next Monday and save so that I know that's when I'm doing it. But for something like a cleaning routine, I mean, you might not need to put a due date on there. Maybe you want to. Now, if you go under boards, I should have showed you this. You could just search this way as well. So I'm going to show you guys. This is my Q3 goals. And don't freak, it's pretty intense. But I really do map out my entire quarter down to what I'm doing every single week. So what I would do is I would go under my Q3 goals. This is everything I got going on right now. This is like real time behind the scenes what my brain looks like. And let's look at next week. So these are things that I'm doing next week, okay? I have all these tasks that I want to get done. So what I would do on Sundays, what I am going to do on Sunday is I'm going to take all the tasks that need to be done next week, because I plan my whole week in advance. I'm going to move them. So let's move this whole card. And as you can see, this card also has like some comments and stuff in there. So everything's going to get copied. Again, I'm going to move it to my weekly schedule. And if I know I want to work on it Monday, I could put Monday. If I'm like, no, you know what, I'm not going to work on these emails, I have to write till Tuesday. So we'll just put them on Tuesday. Okay. And I would literally move, so I need to do this. I'm going to move this. I'll just show you a bunch of examples. Copy over, I keep losing it, my weekly schedule. I have way too many boards. Create the card. I was going to redo this blog post. I'm going to copy it over to my weekly schedule. I'll just get a couple over there so I can show you then what I would do. And okay, cool. So now let's go back to boards. You can just search weekly schedule. Okay, so you see everything kind of came up on Mondays. So what you also could do is, actually this is what I am going to do to make it easier. I might put like a list that says like weekly tasks and put it at the very front. Let's move it all the way over. And so I would probably go into my other boards, my respective boards, and I would like my big projects, my goals, everything that I know I have to do on Sunday. I would transfer them all to weekly tasks. And then, and this is just how my brain works, I would dole them out for the whole week, okay? So I want to work on this landing page, but I'm not going to have time to do it till Wednesday. And I want to do this post, and I'm going to do it early morning, okay? So I might even put in a date. So, oops, nope, save that. I know that I write best in the morning, so I'm going to say my due date for this is here, and I'm going to make sure I do it in the morning at 6, because that's my 5:30 is probably better. We'll say 6 o'clock is my writing time. Okay, cool. So it's in here. If I have the link for the post, I could put it in here. I haven't done that yet. Like I said, this is like real time in making this board. All of the other things I want to add to it, all the other, blog type stuff. So that's here. So I know what I'm doing for my work task. Now, you could also do a couple other labels. So say you wanted to do, instead of AM, afternoon, and PM, say you wanted to do work tasks, personal tasks, I don't know, what else do you do besides work and personal, right? And then I would make some labels. So, I keep hitting the wrong button. So say work is always for me in yellow, and personal is always for me in, go to labels, purple. And then what I could do is I could say, okay, here are my work tasks for the day. And I would even, I haven't done this yet, but I would make like a really, to revise. So I would actually make, like, I'm going to make a really better checklist. So I would say, like, edit for grammar, remake pin image. And again, if you're not a blogger, you're probably like, what is she talking about? But these are just tasks that I would do to redo this post. It's one of my most popular ones. So like add in affiliates, things that maybe I could do to make it better. So then I have my checklist here as well. And I know I'm going to do that for my work task. If a personal task is to call the doctor, I could put that under here. I would add the doctor's phone number. I might even put a time in. Okay, so that's kind of how I take all my stuff and I put it on one. Now, a lot of people have asked me, like, what do I do about my calendar? So I would install the power-up, the calendar power-up. So you clicked menu, power-ups, and I would put a calendar here on this board. Now, what's cool about this is this can become your master calendar. This is where you can have all your tasks on one place. And if you've already put a due date on something on a separate board, when it comes here, that transfers, okay? You can't make it a recurring due date, so you might have to like archive that. But what's cool is, say you have stuff you do like every day, okay? So say like every night before I go to bed, I do the same thing. I do my social media, for example, okay? So I could do a checklist that just says daily list, and it could be like answer my DMs, put up a positive quote, empty my inbox. So say these are like my tasks I do every night. So what you could do is you could just have them here one time, and then tomorrow you could either move them over. But if you do move them over, just to FYI, if you check these off, I'll just show you. If you check them off and you move them over, they're still checked. So what you could do is, if you don't mind like having a lot of boards there, a lot of cards there. Oops, let's uncheck you. Is you could just copy it. And so you don't have to rewrite it. You're like, listen, I do the same thing every day, so I'm just going to make sure it's on Tuesday's list. And look, there it is. Beautiful, right? I didn't make the PM here, but you see what I did, right? So then I'm just doing the same things and I'm just looking at them. So this is really cool if you just use the app, which I make all my boards on the computer, but I look at my boards on the app. So this way, when it's time to sit down to work, I'm like, bam, here's my work list. When it's time to run to Target to get what I need, bam, here's my shopping list. I can transfer my meal plan shopping list over. And I could even put my meals in here so I know what I'm cooking. Like, you could really have everything here. Let's put a couple more due dates on things, just so I can show you the next example of how I would then sync into my calendar. So I'm just going to due date a couple things so we can see them in a second. I'm going to delete some of this stuff because this is actually really my personal stuff. Okay, so I have a couple due dates. So now I can use my calendar, and now I can see my whole calendar at a glance. What's cool, you could add labels. Like, you can have one, so you know what your cleaning routines are, what your personal things, really customize it, okay? Now, if you want to sync this to, say, your Google Calendar, I'm going to show you that real quick. So now you have a master calendar, right? All your stuff is in one spot. You click this little gear and enable your sync. All right, copy this and you go into your iCal. So say you're here. You hit the little plus sign from the URL. You paste that bad boy in, add the calendar. All right, let's go back. Oops, sorry, too fast. You just make sure this is checked, and look what's gonna happen. Oh, look, guys. Oh, this is my dentist appointment next week. All that stuff just came up. Right here from my master calendar. So you know what comes from Trello. All your tasks can be put up. Isn't that fun? So this is kind of how you can make one master calendar. And the way I do in my normal day-to-day is on Sundays, in the afternoon, I spend time and I plan my entire week out. I literally have all my tasks laid here so that when the week starts, I can be focused with intention. I know exactly what I need to do. And like I said, it's cool because, for example, this came from my goal board, but it has information about a conference that I'm participating in, that I'm selling tickets for. It has my link to get the tickets. I have some other checklists. I have it labeled. So like, I could literally just like have everything here and I don't have to redo anything, and you're just moving and copying things. But not moving them. You want to make sure you copy them because then they still stay on that board. So hopefully this was helpful, and if you have any questions, just let me know. I think this is going to be a really awesome way for you to make a weekly calendar. And again, you could make it as your monthly calendar. or whatever you want to do. Don't forget to head over, copy this board, and then you don't have to remake the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You can just keep what you want or however you want to do it. So let me know if you have any questions at all.